Hey y'all, my name is Melinda Faye. I'm 19 years old currently. I'm from Arlington, Texas, United States of America, a city close to Dallas, Texas, for those of you who don't know where Arlington is. I went on exchange to Sorocaba, Brazil, in the state of São Paulo, in 2017 to 2018. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's like to learn a new language, especially as a native English speaker. Because I went on exchange knowing maybe 2 words, how to say hey, oi tudo bem, and thank you, obrigada. And I definitely regret that, because you should, before exchange, you should try your absolute best to learn the language to the best of your ability, because that will speed up your whole process way. It will just make everything go a lot quicker. You'll be able to connect with people faster. You'll get more opportunities to go out and do things. So I made the mistake of not knowing anything. Before you go on exchange, learn your language. Before you travel anywhere, you should really try to learn the language of the place where you're going. It just helps you connect with the natives there, and it shows that you really appreciate their culture a lot more. And so I went on exchange knowing nothing. So first of all, I suggest learning your language, unlike me. And how to do that? Just try to fully immerse yourself. Try to forget your native language. Do everything you can. Change your everyday life into learning your new language, your host language. Make your phone in your new host language. Only watch movies in your host language. What else? Read books. Even if it's simple kids books, read books in your host language. When you're watching movies, put the captions in your host language so that it forces you to read. Maybe you need to start off with them in your native language, but then try to put them in your host language so that you are forced to, if you can't hear the word, you're forced to read the word, and then you have to understand it. And then when you get on exchange, do not let people talk to you in your native language. In this case, it's English for me, which is really hard to do because everybody wants to practice their English with you. English is the common language, especially with exchange students. So when you're together and you're doing meetings and you're traveling, everybody's talking in English with each other. So for the people from Europe and for the people from Mexico and for the people from Asia, they're already speaking a second language when they're speaking to each other in English. But for me, that was my native language, so it wasn't hard for me at all. So it's definitely, you have to push yourself as a native English speaker. You have to push yourself a lot harder. It doesn't come so naturally because your language is everywhere all the time. Like the movies, when we went to the movies, people wanted to watch the movie in English anyway, so it was definitely hard. All my friends wanted to practice their English with me, so they were speaking a lot of English with me. But thankfully, my host family, especially my host father, understood the importance of me learning my host language, Portuguese. So he made sure he was fluent in English, but he made sure to only talk to me in Portuguese so that I could learn it better. So that is all I have to say. Just make sure you learn your host language, like I didn't. So make sure you learn it. It's really, learning a new language opens you up to so many different connections you could possibly make. You learn so much more. It is an amazing experience.